If you've been following the Twitter drama, you've probably seen a tweet that looks an awful lot like this one. Musk spent $44 billion on Twitter. The world population is 8 billion. He could have given each person $5 billion and still had money left over. I feel like a check for $5 billion would be life-changing for most people. And most of you are going to reject that out of hand. But some of you might be feeling like, you know, it feels wrong, but you're not entirely sure why. So, two things. First, this is a bot, and I'll talk about this being a bot at the end of the video and how I know and why they're probably doing this. But secondly, let's start by just talking through why the math is wrong and maybe give you some tools to help you catch these things a little bit easier going forward. So the math seems pretty easy on the surface of it. It's just $44 billion divided by 8 billion people. So that's 5.5, right? But 5.5 what? Well, there's a billion on the top, so is it billion? 5.5 billion? Well, no, because there's a billion on the bottom as well. So you can treat billion like a unit in this case and essentially just cancel the two out, which then leaves you with this, $5.5 per people, and what we call one people is person, so $5.5 per person. So Elon Musk could have given everyone on Earth $5.50. So, I mean, if you want to write him a letter and ask him for $5.50, maybe he'll respond. In this case, billions on the top and the bottom. You need to cancel units out. Now, normally we don't think of billion as a unit. You think of it as 9 zeros tacked on the end, and you could do it that way as well. One reason I do these math mark videos is trying to improve people's general numeracy, their general mathematical literacy. Some of you may have seen that tweet and known that it was off in some way, but not been able to immediately pick up on what the problem was. And for some of you, might have seemed correct, or you didn't give it enough additional thinking to realize that it wasn't correct. When I do these videos, I'm trying to provide you the tools to maybe catch some of these things and prevent yourself from being tricked by some of this stuff in the future. But I also said that this is a bot, or at least something coming from a troll farm. And why do I think that? Well, as you can see, it's being all over the place on Twitter, tweeted by bunches of different accounts. In fact, you can just search for this exact text and find tons of examples of it being seen. And some of these have been tweeted out by theoretically pretty powerful accounts. One of these accounts is actually a verified account, and this is an old school verified account, not one of the new pay $8 verified accounts. And it has about 75,000 followers. That's probably a hacked account out there spreading misinformation from some bot farm. But as you can see, they're all the same tweet. So that raises the question, why? Why are they spreading this very easily debunked piece of misinformation? For me, there are only really three possible answers, and I think the third is the most likely. The first is that it's being spread by pro-Elon Musk people in order to make the anti-Elon Musk people look stupid, because this math is clearly wrong. Additionally, it could be there to just sort of obfuscate the legitimate criticisms of Elon Musk buying Twitter by putting out this thing that isn't legitimate, that cannot be defended. It does both of those things okay, but if you're someone that's already in the anti-Elon Musk camp, you might just look at this and go, yep, makes sense to me, and be one of those 19,000 people that said, yeah, Elon Musk should have given everyone $5 billion. The second reason could be the opposite, that this is being spread by an anti-Elon Musk group that is just trying to make Elon Musk look as bad as possible and is willing to say whatever they need to in order to do that. I don't think this is very effective at actually accomplishing that task. Yes, there are people that will see this and agree with it right away and not do the extra little bit of thinking to realize that this isn't real, this isn't true. But for the most part, I suspect this is the kind of tweet that isn't going to help the anti-Elon Musk crowd. So that brings me to my third thinking, which is that this is something that is actually being spread by a group that is just trying to worsen the quality of our discourse overall. Because what does this kind of tweet do? If you're super pro Elon Musk, you look at it for 2 seconds and you realize that, wait a minute, this is nonsense. Anyone who would tweet this, anyone who would agree with this must be an idiot. If you are anti-Elon Musk, you again don't necessarily give it the amount of thought that is necessary to realize that it's not right. It just further underlines your feeling that Elon Musk must be stupid, must be a bad person, and you aren't having that conversation in the middle. It's pushing the discourse out to the edges. My bet is that that's what's happening. And so then that brings you to the final question, which is, well, who would be set up to gain from such a thing? Who wants the English language Twitter discourse pushed further and further to the edges of extremes? And I leave that as an exercise to the viewer to think about. So a weird request at the end of this one, assuming that Twitter still exists when this video comes out, I would love it if somebody who knows how to write a Twitter bot would write a Twitter bot to combat this piece of misinformation. We have this video, and you could search for this exact text and respond to it with something to the effect of, this is incorrect. By the way, you're also a bot. Here's a video explaining all of that. I'll put the exact text down below. If you're interested in writing such a bot, let me know in the comments. A special thanks to my members. They provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to that down in the description. We also have merch. This is the High Tea on the High Seas hoodie. There's a shelf below this video where you can pick something up. What do you think? Did you get caught off by the math? Was this helpful to help you understand what was off about that tweet in the first place? Why do you think this kind of bot exercise exists? What is the goal of that? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. There's a lot of misinformation out there these days. And sometimes it's malicious, sometimes it's just people doing it for the lols. Be careful out there, pay attention, and think about the things that you are liking, because liking something that turns out to be wrong can undermine your position. I will see you again soon. Thank you.